Vikings, let's win the game!
Attention, Vikings fans. Stop everything you're doing because we need to talk about the incredible energy behind the scenes with the Minnesota Vikings. A key defender for the Vikings is facing a contract standoff that's shaking the team's foundation. What's next for him in Minnesota? Meanwhile, an offensive veteran is ready to make a comeback after a tough season, promising a turnaround and new records. Behind the scenes, a fierce battle is unfolding for a starting spot on the offensive line, with young talent and veterans fighting for the spotlight. And don't miss the inspiring story of a cornerback stepping in to fill big shoes and bring fresh glory to the team. You can't miss these updates and more. Welcome! Show your Viking support by reaching 100 thumbs up on today's video. As the month of July unfolds under scorching heat, the contract situation with Josh Metellus is heating up at the Minnesota Vikings facilities. Training camp is right around the corner, and the defender still hasn't signed his contract extension, stirring up a whirlwind of questions and concerns. Metellus, who stood out last season as a cornerstone of the team's defense, finds himself at a crossroads that's worrying both fans and the front office. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, the seasoned general manager, has faced similar challenges before and come out on top. Can he find a solution to this standoff? The silver lining is that the Vikings' salary cap for 2025 offers some breathing room, with more than $23,500,000 available. This should make it easier to offer Metellus a generous contract extension. Interestingly, an extension could even free up about $3,500,000 in additional cap space, but that move would increase the salary cap burden for the following year. The real debate kicks off when we ask how much Metellus is truly worth. Looking at other recent contracts, like Cameron Bynum's $60 million deal with the Colts, we wonder if Metellus will see numbers that high. Despite his versatility as a defender, switching between linebacker and cornerback, and his leadership on the field, finding a fair number is a puzzle for Adofo-Mensah. The expectation is that his salary will align with other top-tier safeties in the NFL, who earn at least $10 million per season. Valuing Metellus below that could be seen as underestimating his strategic importance to the Vikings. With training camp approaching fast, the pressure to resolve this issue is only growing. The Vikings community is waiting anxiously, hoping this standoff doesn't turn into a bigger distraction. And while the tension around these negotiations holds strong, brace yourselves, because what's coming next is even more electrifying. In the complex dance of American football, where every step can be a masterful play or a stumble, T.J. Hawkinson, the talented tight end for the Minnesota Vikings, is gearing up to prove last season was just a bump in his upward trajectory. After a year marked by physical challenges, expectations for his triumphant return are sky-high, filled with hope and strategy. Hawkinson, acquired by the Vikings in a pivotal trade, has shown flashes of brilliance on the field, but his last season was cut short by an anterior cruciate ligament injury. Now, with recovery in the background and a full season ahead, he's poised to reaffirm his place among the league's elite. An NFL coordinator who prefers to remain anonymous commented on this situation with cautious optimism. While he didn't seem to fully trust his knee, especially in blocking, I expect him to come back stronger now. He's already more comfortable in the offensive scheme, and a full season of recovery should bring total confidence. This growing confidence in Hawkinson is crucial for a team aiming to be a contender in the NFL's competitive landscape. After all, a tight end's value isn't just in receptions and touchdowns, it's also in their blocking ability, which is essential for quarterback protection and opening lanes for the running game. His physical and technical form will be key to boosting the Vikings' offense, especially in the red zone, where his skill in using his body to secure catches can be a game-changer. Hawkinson's journey is a story of resilience and skill, a mix that gives fans a reason to keep their eyes glued to every game. With the NFL noting his stats were slightly below expectations last season, largely due to his physical condition and Justin Jefferson's absence for 7 games, the 2025 season looks like a blank canvas for Hawkinson. With better synergy expected with quarterback J.J. McCarthy and the support of a revitalized receiving corps, Hawkinson has the chance to redirect the course of his career. He's not just aiming to return to form, he's looking to dominate, turning every doubt into cheers and every pass into a showcase of his undeniable talent. The Vikings and their passionate fans are ready for this turnaround. The stage is set, and all eyes are on Hawkinson. As the new season approaches, the energy around his potential is electric. He might not only meet expectations but exceed them, fueling not just highlight plays but the soul of the Vikings fan base craving victories. This phase of renewal and expectation elevates the narrative for the upcoming season to unforgettable heights. Hawkinson is ready to soar higher than ever, and the fervent fans are eager to witness every moment of this rise. The next story is about a surprising battle at the Vikings training camp. When it comes to surprises, the buzz this year is around Donovan Jackson, the promising guard selected in the first round of the draft by the Minnesota Vikings. Expected to be a key piece in the new offensive line, Jackson finds himself in the middle of an unexpected battle that could set the tone for his early NFL career. Since the spring, the momentum suggested Jackson would be the immediate starter at left guard. However, recent reports from Bleacher Report signal a heated competition for the starting left guard spot, a development that caught many by surprise. According to Matt Holder from Bleacher Report, Jackson is only competing for the position, something that wasn't in the plans of many analysts and fans. The speculation is intense, and the stakes are high. The former left guard, Blake Brandel, isn't willing to give up his spot without a fight. Brandel, who had a solid performance last season, presents legitimate competition for Jackson. Still, the rookie's arrival is seen as a critical part of the Vikings' ongoing effort to strengthen and rejuvenate their offensive line. This training camp duel isn't just about who starts the first game, but about who will establish a lasting presence on the offensive line, protecting the quarterback and paving the way for the running game. The dynamic between Brandel's experience and Jackson's fresh energy is a storyline that will be closely watched during summer training. The Vikings coaches, including head coach Kevin O'Connell, have praised Jackson's approach to the game and his NFL readiness since the moment he was drafted. O'Connell himself mentioned that Jackson had a clear path to a significant role on the team, a sign they have high hopes for his development. Now, with training camp on the horizon, all eyes will be on this competition. Either way, the battle between Jackson and Brandel promises to be one of the most talked about and potentially revealing stories of the Vikings preseason. This clash will not only test Jackson's tenacity, but also show Brandel's determination to hold his ground against the wave of new talent. It's a fight that goes to the heart of the Vikings' team-building philosophy, blending new vigor with seasoned wisdom. Who will emerge as the left guard is an open question, and the coming weeks of training should bring some thrilling answers. But hold on, because the next story involves a very intriguing situation. Expectations are high, and comparisons are inevitable. Isaiah Rodgers, the newest member of the Minnesota Vikings, faces the massive challenge of living up to Andrew Van Ginkel, who left an indelible mark as one of the team's most impactful defenders. Rodgers, brought to the team on Brian Flores' recommendation, is already in the spotlight, not just for his past merits, but for the potential the Vikings see in his future with the team. Rodgers and Van Ginkel share similar paths to some extent, both navigating the defensive field with the versatility Flores loves. However, while Van Ginkel thrived as an edge rusher and linebacker, Rodgers, standing at 5 feet 10 inches and weighing 170 pounds, is more comfortable as an outside cornerback, unlike the multiple roles Van Ginkel played. This puts Rodgers in an intriguing position, where his skills in outside coverage will be vital, but his potential in special teams will also be crucial. Rodgers' blazing speed gives the Vikings a significant weapon, not just on defense, but also in special teams, where he has the potential to shine as a returner. The Vikings' special teams coordinator has already publicly discussed the possibilities Rodgers brings to kick returns, raising expectations around his game-changing ability. The pressure on Rodgers is no small feat. As the Vikings have invested in modest but promising contracts, they expect Rodgers to not only meet, but exceed expectations. With a 2-year deal worth $11,045,000, Rodgers' cost-benefit is high, especially if he can establish himself as a reliable and impactful starter. The dilemma for Rodgers is twofold. First, he must prove he can fill the void left by Van Ginkel, a task that requires not just skill but also the ability to adapt quickly to the Vikings system. Second, he needs to carve out his own identity on the team, one that isn't perpetually in his predecessor's shadow, but still invites favorable comparisons. As the new season approaches and Rodgers steps onto the field during training and preseason games, his performance will be closely watched. Can Rodgers become the next defensive standout for the Vikings? Will he turn potential into tangible performance? The challenges are significant, but the opportunity for Isaiah Rodgers to make his mark with the Vikings is huge. This storyline unfolds as one of the most captivating for fans and analysts this season. And so, Vikings Nation, we sail through a tide of stories that will shape the journey in the upcoming season. From Josh Metellus' contract standoff to T.J. Hawkinson's resilience and hope for recovery, to the determined battles at training camp and the promising arrival of Isaiah Rodgers, each thread carries its own dose of excitement and anticipation. These aren't just news updates. They're the prefaces to stories of determination and challenges to be overcome together. So, I ask you, passionate fans, which story caught your attention the most, and what other moves does the team still need to make? Your passion, energy, and loyalty are the heartbeat of Vikings Nation. So, let's keep that energy going. Share this video, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button for all the latest Vikings updates. Stay tuned, SKOL Vikings, let's go!